I'd like to call the zoning board of adjustment to a public hearing. Case 16007 VA, application from Gary and Lorraine Anderson, requesting a variance from Article 2, Section C, sub C, of the zoning ordinance to permit a two-lot subdivision of 5.21 acres for residential use. The property is located at 46 Guile Road in Nottingham, identified as tax map 27, lot 1.
Just for the record, Mr. Chairman, you need to sit Kevin in Teresa's place.
Right.
Yep.
Ms. Bascom is absent and also will be recusing herself this evening, so I'd like to see Kevin Bassett as our alternate. So we have the full board. All right. Just so you guys know, we hear from the applicant first, and then any abutters.
Good evening, board members. Thank you for hearing our request for variance tonight. I'll just take you through a little background, and I guess we can go from there. Really what I guess we're in the way of variance we're requesting, first of all, would be either relief from the buildable area, the buildable 30,000 square feet, or relief from setbacks. As you can see from your copies of the map, we don't quite meet the buildable area and 50-foot setbacks. So with the 50-foot setbacks, we've calculated it'd be roughly 26,000 square feet buildable area. And what we're really, the reason we're short, I think, on meeting those requirements are really because of the slopes on the back side of the lot, and also the spotty wetlands. Wetlands, from what I've seen, we've been there about 16 years, and from what I've seen, mainly are due to the runoff from that slope and created because of where that water is steadily. We are meeting the road frontage, as you probably noticed, and really what Lori and I would like to do here is we'd like to downsize. We'd like to put the existing house at the top of the hill up for sale and downsize, and come down by the workshop that's shown on the map, which is where my building equipment, etc., is stored. So it's would be a convenient transition for us as far as relocating as well.
Question? Is any of the wetland, running water kind of wetland, or is it just pooling?
Pooling, it's more than just a vernal pool. It is pooling, and the vegetation growth is there to, then it's well, this summer it's not wet too much, but normally it is a wet area.
It sustains its.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, yeah.
The location that we'd like to build on is mainly there's a tree row, and a lot of it is fairly level field area. Most of the slope is behind that workshop, or work shed rather.
So Chairman, may I ask a question?
Certainly.
So Gary, can you just clarify the driveway situation? Will you still be using the driveway from the old lot to the existing work shed, or will the property be serviced only by the driveway shown in the lower right-hand corner?
What we'd like to do is, come off of Guile Road once again for a new driveway, which would be somewhere, figuring on the right, corner.
Where it's shown on the
Yes.
view through it?
Yeah. And, the existing driveway would be cut off from the new lot.
So you wouldn't be reserving a right-of-way along that driveway?
No, we wouldn't, except for the only thing, let's see if I have it. The only thing that we had, when, Peter Landry had done these drawings, allowed for, I guess in the way of a right-of-way would be, in one of the turns of the driveway, there, that would be just behind the new lot. There's a couple of switchbacks in the driveway.
I see them.
And that's more so for convenience, well, we felt, to allow a little bit of extra area in the second switchback for larger trucks, plowing of snow, etc. But other than that,
You mean the driveway would be close to the lot line? In that
Yes.
first switchback?
yes, it would be close to that switchback.
Do we have any restrictions? I don't have my zoning
Yeah.
regs. Do we have any restrictions on the closeness of a driveway to the edge of property line?
No.
I don't think so.
The only requirement is that each lot has to have their own curb cut. It can be shared right on the lot line, but in this case, though, they've separated it, yeah.
And so, one other question. Can you also explain to me what the detail B is, the use and enjoyment easement?
That's what Gary explained, that's so they can,
Oh,
the existing house,
so
they
that
can
is-
have room to turn the corner, like a delivery truck, the oil truck, the plow truck, and things like that.
I thought it was kind of a comical,
Term, I'd never heard it before.
That's actually, we looked it up, that is the right term.
So the driveway would butt onto this second lot a little bit?
yeah, it would just, there would be a little bit more, area allowed that actually would be on.
But it services the original house, not your new
The turnout on the
property.
driveway, yeah. So it'd be a two-way easement, one ease of use for them and utility access for you, possibly.
Just really just for them to allow the ease of use there.
Okay.
Yeah, good, throw them this way.
Get them mad, send them our way.
It's a Hornet.
Yeah. Is that time of year?
Oh, yeah.
So two questions. The proposed driveway we just talked about, that curb cut is approved per se?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Second question.
Dangerous.
Now you know why I behave in the office.
Made me jump. If the 20-foot setback was approved, do you need to put the house between the 20 and the 50?
No, the house would definitely be within the 50-foot setback.
It's really just to make the area, the buildable area.
Yeah,
Right.
and on both lots, really. Yeah.
And the same is true for the septic and the leach field?
Everything's.
That would meet the 50 feet setback, because that's kind of a little topic that's
Yeah.
being discussed
The
this year.
existing house, it meets 50 foot now. The proposed 4,000 K area does meet the 50-foot setback
So-
on the proposed new lot. Yeah,
Okay.
because on one side it's the street, the other side is a small wetland, so
What if a septic fails these days?
well, that's why the 4,000 square foot area, because your septic doesn't take that much area.
It's big enough,
Yeah, it's big enough that they call it reserve area too. Yep.
okay.
And I can
Not a use and enjoyment
And I
area.
can see the existing well on the neighboring lot is sufficiently far away.
Yeah.
Mr. Carpenter
And it's
said
also
it, but
uphill.
I'm
Way
sorry, I
uphill.
missed that question.
I see that the existing well is sufficiently away from it
On Mark's lot,
on Mark's lot.
yeah.
All right, right,
Far away.
far enough.
Any other questions from the board?
The distance for
It probably tells me, but the acreage of each lot is right there. Got it, got it.
Got it?
Where is it?
2.5 and 2.7.
Yeah. The total parcel's a little over 5, and it's pretty much gonna be split in half. Yep.
2.7 and 2.45.
Any other questions from the board?
I would like him to go over the 5 reasons, just so that it's in our record.
Sure.
I mean, I think having applicants justify,
Granting the
So-
variance would not be contrary to the public interest because,
do you have a copy of that, Gary?
it.
You know-
No, I don't.
Well, you wrote it out for us, but if you would just go over it in case we don't
Joanne's
read
got a
all of
copy
your
right there for you,
writing.
Gary.
Oh,
Well-
thank you.
You didn't have Lori write it, so. So if you would just go over your justification for requesting the variance, because you are required to meet 5 criteria.
Sure. Let's see. Oh, number 5?
Just all of them,
All
just do all
four.
5,
All
all
five.
5, Gary,
Okay.
yeah.
Start
So,
with,
yeah, the first one, be contrary to, would not be contrary to public interest because slow impact on traffic, I think also would be an improvement. I didn't write this, but so mad.
it's okay, you can expand on it.
Be an improvement, in, it'd definitely be a property improvement for the neighbors as well, for the neighborhood, I guess. The spirit of the ordinance would be observed because all requirements, well, the spirit is, in the way I saw it, is observed because we're actually protecting the slopes, which is something the town generally is for, but also mainly the requirements, you know, we're close to meeting the requirements, they're just missing.
yeah.
Granting the variance would do substantial justice. I think that's again, well, what did I write? Will remain similar to existing uses. But lacking some required setbacks. Substantial justice, I think, again, it's an improvement for the neighborhood in general. The variance is granted, the values of the surrounding properties would not be diminished. Again, I'm kind of reiterating that it would be an improvement, and would fit in with the surrounding properties. The last one, unnecessary hardship, to special conditions of the property that distinguish it from other properties in the area. Denial of the variance would result in unnecessary hardship because no fair and substantial relationships exist between the general public purposes of the ordinance provision and the specific application of that provision to the property. Yeah, and I mentioned the unique topography of the lot and the slopes. And that it was a sensible use. The proposed use is reasonable one because it is similar to existing uses or uses in the area. So, yeah, I kind of tried to pull it out of my head best I could. Oh, there is more, that's right.
I think you only have to do that if you don't meet the first 2.
But you can do it all,
I see,
Yeah.
yeah.
okay.
Well, he is saying there are special conditions of the property.
Yeah, the topography and the
Wetlands and-
wetlands. Yeah, they jam you up to the front, and so, you know, by granting variance to the side, he makes the buildable area and it's fine. And it, you know, to me, it feels like it's a substantial fit with the spirit of the ordinance.
I mean, we try real hard. We don't allow anything 25% or greater slope to be built on. And this property is very unique. It's one of the few properties in town that we actually have a 35% run of slope that's on a residential lot that's developed already, so. Yeah, this, to protect our environmental picture out there, I think, and my suggestion is a good thing.
This may be a loaded question, may not have an answer, but if lot 1 was pushed towards the 2 acre and lot 2 was increased, do you think they would have had buildable area?
Probably not, because of the driveway location, and they still need relief from the existing house lot along the back and the new lot line, so, and again, there's slopes on both, if you want, we'll call it both lots, that it's just really impractical to do, yeah. So, I mean, I sat with their surveyor, and he drew up different scenarios we tried, and this was the best that everybody could come up with, yeah.
And I think I'd just add that I think this plan, it does a really good job at mixing the slopes and what level areas there are. You know, kind of puts a little bit of everything on each lot.
I mean, it does say that you could get 30,000, almost 800 square feet, if you actually went, the lot line went around the driveway, right in that switchback area, right?
No,
Or am I
no, you missed it. What he's asking, go to the next page, it's easy to see, Kevin. What he's saying is they can get this footage if they move this line to this line. This would still be the lot line here. This is the setback line.
Okay,
Yep.
what's that?
That is a tree line, and it's pretty steep right through here.
So,
But this is a tree line, yeah.
so this statement does not encompass that circle?
No,
Okay.
this
Okay.
would be the lot line right here.
Yep.
Yep. That's just a tree line drawn.
Okay.
Yeah, so what you're looking at, the tree line is, it's an old, stone row and some really mainly old apple trees that are actually not in very good condition anymore. They've grown way, they were large when we came there 16 years ago, so I thought of trying to preserve those at one time, and I realized that it's all pretty impossible to maintain.
All right, thank you, Gary. Any other commentary from our spectators? Thank you for coming out this evening. Nope.
We're fully in support of it. No brainer to us.
Okay.
I'm good with it. We've been getting along for years, so live and let live. The way it works out there.
Excellent.
And these folks are abutters on both sides, I assume?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only ones.
Yeah.
The existing house is far enough away where the lot line adjustment or whatever isn't gonna impact them at all, and the enjoyment of their property.
All right, take a motion to anybody's,
So is this an or vote, one or the other, or,
Because they're asking for the setbacks
because
relief here and here, just so everybody in the
I
board
think they
knows
asked for this or that.
right,
Which one would you prefer? Setback?
He needs them
I
here.
think that's the way that it was presented to me, was,
Right,
it
it
was
should
about
be the
moving this-
setback.
There was no discussion of areas, it was
Right.
all about discussion.
Well, he
of
said
setback.
either reduce the area or,
Right.
But
Well, the
logically,
discussion-
logically, on our side,
Right.
of the town, we would prefer to see the reduced setback with the 30, so we can meet the 30,000. Especially with the unique features of this land.
And that makes sense to me, and it's more, it's easier to follow
Yep.
to me.
clearer.
Okay. All right.
So I move that we approve this application as presented, case number 16-007-VA from Gary and Lorraine Anderson, with the only restriction being that their house and septic meet the setbacks when they build. And they are shown here as meeting the setbacks.
Yep.
And so I don't have a problem with that. I think that meets the spirit of the ordinance. You don't have to put that last sentence in, Joanna.
And the setback is the 50-foot setback.
For the septic in the house,
In the front,
yeah.
the 20 on the sides.
And that's what they're proposing, yeah.
20 on the sides and rear.
So they're just moving a few things to,
He said that the house would be 50 also. Okay,
correct.
so it's 50 all
So
sides.
I'm making that part of the motion,
The
Okay.
that the house and the septic
buildable area can go to
meet the
20,
setbacks.
but the house
But that we,
stated would be 50.
Yes, correct.
so is my motion properly stated?
Yeah.
You want it read back?
No, I think I got it.
You got it,
I
Kevin?
think,
I'll,
You got it,
Yep.
Terry?
I'll second
Okay,
all in favor?
it. All right.
Unanimous?
did you vote?
My panel.
That's a good sign.
All right, so you guys have a 30-day appeal window, but it doesn't look like anybody here is interested, so
But anybody can appeal.
that's it.
You can start building, but it's at your
Well,
own.
he's still gotta go through the planning board process for the subdivision, so
Okay.
he's gotta finish that up, so.
30 days.
Welcome. Okay, welcome.
What time are you getting in tomorrow, Lori?
That's an existing property, so there's no future questions.
There are 2 copies here, 3.
Okay,
A little different versus the new subdivision, so.
Oh, yeah.
that way we can make sure. Sandy showed me, but,
Oh, I might be in early, but
okay, yeah, we'll take care of that tomorrow.
Wait a minute, do you have your ID?
I do.
Gee, did somebody ask you that?
Told me on that on me yesterday.
Me too, yesterday.
I'll see you in the morning.
Can I
Good night.
pick up some papers? I had to have, go out and get my license.
So at this point, I'd like to close the hearing, public hearing on case 16-007-VA. And the other order of business for this evening was minutes from our last meeting, but since we don't have hard copies and computers are locked up, I say we put it off till our next meeting.
Good,
Does that work for everybody?
works.
I think you sent them out on the 11th, so they are available
They are
electronically if you
available,
guys want to review them.
I've got a copy of them, but that's just one, so.
All right. Yeah, we'll just put it off.
I made a revision,
And you gave that to Joanna?
I sent it Saturday, but
Did you send it to all of us?
I don't think so. I don't remember.
Maybe you could check on
It was
that. Make sure
early.
we-
Once we can get
It
in.
was early Saturday morning, so I don't remember.
If you can send his revision along once you get into your computer.
definitely.
And I'll email you just tomorrow so you know that I'm alive and in computer world
Get
again.
ready to sound the hound dogs.
Right.
Couple updates if I might.
Sure.
Just some town stuff so everybody knows what's going on. I don't know if you noticed on the way in, there's some construction going on the police department side. We have an issue with icing over the door that the officers used every day. So actually Gary's building a walkway, covered walkway. And then next week, we're gonna re-roof the whole police side of this building. We just finished re-roofing yesterday the library. The town beach is still closed until we test. We did have evidence of cyanobacteria. And the state is supposed to come back this week and test. So as soon as we get test results that say we can open, we'll open the beach right away.
Is that just because of the low low water?
The low water and the high temperatures, the water temperature's way above normal.
Oh, yeah.
Come down.
Ice cubes.
Yeah,
Since the rain, but
yeah.
And last night, had to finally
Sunday
put a
night.
blanket on. It was the first night I had
Oh,
sheets on.
47 when I left the house at 6 this morning.
47
Yeah.
in
Yeah, it was
Northwood.
Well, I don't live now, I'm in
Pittsfield.
Pittsfield.
We live in Pittsfield,
Yeah, this
that's,
is North Country, no, West Pittsburgh, I'm sorry.
that's Pittsburgh.
And then you said we have another case pending?
Yeah, I haven't received the application yet, but once I do, I'll definitely scan it all and send it out, and we'll set the date.
Okay. Any foreseeable conflicts with folks?
Will be primary election week.
Yeah,
The
that's,
primary.
they called me yesterday with a few questions on their application still. And they're gonna represent themselves, but they're working with a surveyor at least to do the, you know, the drawings and stuff, so
So it'll definitely come out after the Tuesday primary.
we will definitely, yeah, cause the original date that she thought we could do it, and I said, it's primary date, and we don't schedule any meetings that night, cause there's no room.
A body would be here.
I'll be here,
And
Yeah.
so would Joanna.
I'll be a little tired by
A
7.
little bit. Look, at polls close at 7, boy.
You could run right next to her.
Yeah,
Primary date?
right.
Primary's the 13th?
Yes.
13th.
Yeah, 13th
Yeah.
of September.
Yeah, I'll make sure I steer clear of the primary date, that's for sure.
It's usually
Yeah.
pretty
And you know I'm
quiet.
gone until the 8th,
It might
so it'll have to be
a little
after the
bit.
primary.
Might be a little bit.
Yeah.
Well,
it'll be
unless you have-
definitely-
unless you have a quorum.
Well,
You
it
can look
has to
over
be
that.
after the primary for the simple reason, even when they get it into us,
You need time for
it's
it.
gonna, we're gonna have time to process it and everything,
Time
so.
to post it and
Yeah.
put it, yeah, it'll fall after
But it
that.
will have to be within 30 days of receiving it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Right. I think we'll be good. All right, thank you, folks. Anybody want to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for coming out, Kevin.
No.